Greetings and welcome to Monarch channel. Hope you're all doing fine. Christmas is just around the corner, so it's perfect time for some scary Christmas stories. And since we are all in this holiday spirit, be so kind and hit the subscribe button and the like button. And if you own your own YouTube channel and you are in need of some background videos, we have another channel, Monarch Free Videos, where you can use any video you like. There are no copyrights, so you can edit them and use them any way you like. I hope you will enjoy today's stories and have a really Merry Christmas. The Lawson Family. The murder of the Lawson family refers to a family-side which took place in Germantown, North Carolina, United States on December 25, 1929, in which Charles Davis Charlie Lawson murdered his wife and 6 of his 7 children. In 1911, Charles Lawson married Fanny, with whom he had 8 children. The third, William, born in 1914, died of an illness in 1920. In 1918, following the move of his younger brother Marion and Elijah to the Germantown area, Lawson followed suit with his family. The Lawsons worked as tenant tobacco farmers, saving enough money by 1927 to buy their own farm on Brook Cove Road. In 1929, shortly before Christmas, Lawson took Fanny, his wife, and the 7 children into the town to buy new clothes and to have family portrait taken. This would have been an uncommon occurrence for a working-class rural family of the era, which has led to speculation that Lawson's act was premeditated. Lawson's having purchased his own farm 2 years prior, however, together with the fact that an Associated Press wire that went out on the day after the murders characterized Lawson as a well-to-do farmer, would make a pre-Christmas shopping spree appear reasonable. On the afternoon of December 25th, Lawson first shot his daughters Carrie and Mabel as they were setting out to their uncle's and aunt's house. He waited for them by the tobacco barn until they were in range, shot them with a 12-gauge shotgun, then ensured that they were dead by bludgeoning them. He placed the bodies in the tobacco barn. Afterwards, Lawson returned to the house and shot Fanny, who was on the porch. As soon as the gun was fired, Mary, who was inside, screamed, while the 2 smaller boys, James and Raymond, attempted to find a hiding place. Lawson shot Mary and then found and killed 2 boys. Lastly, he killed the baby Mary Lou. It is thought that she was bludgeoned to death. After the murders, he went into nearby woods and several hours later shot himself. The only survivor was his elder son, 16-year-old Arthur, whom he had sent to an errand just before committing the crime. The bodies of the family members were found with their arms crossed and rocks under their heads. The gunshot signaling Lawson's own suicide was heard by many people who already had learned of the murders on the property and gathered there. A police officer who was with Arthur ran down to discover Lawson's body, along with the letters to his parents. As footprints encircled the tree, it was supposed that he had been pacing around the tree prior to taking his life. Months before the event, Lawson had sustained a head injury. Some family and friends theorized that it had altered his mental state and was related to the massacre. However, an autopsy and analysis of his brain at Johns Hopkins Hospital found no abnormalities. It was not until the book White Christmas, Bloody Christmas was published in 1990 that a claim of Charlie sexually abusing Mary surfaced, beginning with an anonymous source who heard a rumor during a tour of the Lawson's home shortly after the murders. The day before the book was to be published, the author received a phone call from Stella Lawson, a relative who had already been interviewed for the book. Stella said that she had overheard Fanny's sister-in-law and aunts, including Stella's mother Jetty Lawson, discussing how Fanny had confided in them that she has been concerned about the incest relationship between Charlie and Mary. Jetty died in early 1928, meaning Fanny had been suspicious of the incest at the last that long before the murders in late 1929. More support for this theory was revealed in The Meaning of Our Tears, published by the same author in 2006. A close friend of Mary Lawson, Ella May, came forward and disclosed that a few weeks before Christmas 1929, Mary confided in her that she was pregnant by her own father, and that both he and Fanny knew about this. Another close friend and a neighbor to the Lawson family, Hill Hampton, stated that he knew of serious problems going on with the family, but declined to elaborate. Shortly after the murders, Charlie's brother, Marion Lawson, opened the home on Brook Cove Road as tourist attraction. A cake that Mary had baked on a Christmas day was displayed on the tour. The event inspired a number of songs and other tributes, including the murder ballad The Murder of Lawson Family, which was recorded by the Stanley Brothers in March 1956. The case also was featured in an episode of PRX's podcast Criminal. Arthur Lawson, the only surviving child, was killed in the 1945 motor accident at age 33, leaving a wife and 4 children. Kavina Massacre. The Kavina Massacre occurred on December 24, 2008 in Kavina, a city in the suburbs of Los Angeles, California, in the United States. 9 people were killed either by gunshot wounds or in an arson fire inside a house at 1129 East Knollcrest Drive, where a Christmas Eve party was being held. The perpetrator, 45-year-old Bruce Jeffrey Pardo, who had entered the house wearing a Santa suit, died from a self-inflicted gunshot to the head at his brother's residence in the early hours of the morning after the attack. Authorities cited marital problem as possible motive for violence. Reports indicated that Pardo's divorce has been finalized on December 18, 1 week before the massacre. 3 people, including Pardo's ex-wife and his former in-laws, were initially declared missing, pending identification of their bodies. At approximately 11:30 p.m., Bruce Jeffrey Pardo, dressed in a Santa Claus suit, knocked on the door of his former in-laws' house, occupied by 25 people, with a gift-wrapping package containing a homemade flamethrower and a trolley and 2 9mm semi-automatic handguns. He also had 2 additional 9mm semi-automatic handguns in his possession. Moments after the door opened, Pardo pulled out the 2 handguns and immediately shot his 8-year-old niece Katarina Józef-Polski, the daughter of Letitia Józef-Polski, a sister of Sylvia Pardo, as she ran to greet him, injuring her in the face. He then fired indiscriminately at fleeing partygoers. Police speculated that Pardo may have stood over and pointedly executed some of the victims using the other handguns. After the shootings, Pardo unwrapped the package containing the homemade flamethrower and used it to spray racing fuel gasoline to set the home ablaze. 9 people died from either gunfire or flames, and 3 others were wounded. Józef-Polski was shot in the face with severe but non-life-threatening injuries, a 16-year-old girl shot and wounded in the back, and a 20-year-old woman who suffered a broken ankle jumping out from the second-floor window. There was 1 survivor who called the authorities during the attack after escaping to the neighbor's house. The resulting fire soared approximately 40 to 50 feet and took 80 firefighters an hour and a half to extinguish. Due to intensity of the fire, identification of the victims was done with dental and medical records. After the attack, Pardo put on his street clothes and drove his Dodge Caliber rental car to his brother's house about 30 miles away from the crime scene, where he was later found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. His brother was not present in the house at the time of the Pardo's death. It was initially believed that Pardo intended to flee to Canada by plane since he had bought an airline ticket to a flight on Air Canada, However, it was subsequently discovered that the flight itinerary on Northwest Airlines was from the Los Angeles to Moline, Illinois, with a layover in Minnesota. Pardo had called days before to tell a high school friend that he was planning to visit, but investigators were unsure if he actually intended to visit or if the flight was to fool investigators. He had visited the friend before in October 2008. Other reports stated that the Santa suit had melted during the flamethrower portion of the attack and had adhered to his skin, so not all of it could be removed. However, suffering from severe third-degree burns on his arms streaming from the blaze, Pardo decided to go against the initial plan. Police found $17,000 in cash, cling-wrapped on his legs inside a griddle. His rental car, parked 1 block from his brother's house, had been rigged with remnants of his Santa suit that would detonate the car with black powder if removed. Also recovered from the scene were 4 13-round capacity handguns that were empty and at least 200 rounds of ammunition, suggesting that what had been inside the car was being treated as a threat. A bomb squad fired device onto it, burning and destroying it. At Padro's house in Montrose, police had recovered 5 empty boxes of semi-automatic handguns and a container for high-octane fuel tank gasoline. They also found what was described as a virtual bomb factory in his home. Police speculated that the motive of the attack was related to marital problems. Pardo's wife of 1 year had settled for divorce in the prior week. However, Pardo held no criminal record and had no history of violence. There is some speculation that the divorce may have been caused by Pardo concealing a child from a previous relationship. This child was severely injured in the swimming pool accident several years prior. The couple wed in January 2006, but soon grew apart after their marriage, when Pardo refused to open a joint account with Sylvia. He also expected his wife to take care of her own 3 children with her own finances. In June 2008, divorce court has ordered Pardo to pay $1,785 a month in spousal support. During the divorce proceeding, Pardo has confided to a friend his wife was taking him for the cleaners. In July, Pardo was fired for billing false hours and the court suspended the support payments due to job hardship. Pardo was required to pay Sylvia $10,000 as part of the divorce settlement, according to court documents. Sylvia kept the wedding ring and the family dog. In a court declaration, Pardo complained that Sylvia was living with her parents, not paying rent, and had spent lavishly on a luxury car, gambling trips to Las Vegas, meals at fine restaurants, massages, and golf lessons. But nobody knows for sure what was the real reason behind this horrific crime. Thank you guys for stopping by, hope you had fun. Before you leave, subscribe and hit the like button. If you have any stories, true or fictional, and you would like to share it with us, please submit it to our email, which is in the description box. And if you need copyright-free background videos, you can find it on our other channel, Monarch Free Videos, as well. Links down there. All we ask is for you to subscribe and put a link to our channel to your description box, that's all. Stay safe, have a happy holidays, and I'll see you soon.